Thanks for staying with us. All right, so the Edo State Deputy Governor, Shaibu, has finally declared his interest to contest the forthcoming 2024 governorship elections on the platform of the PDP, stating that nobody in heaven or on earth, I didn't say that, but nobody can halt his ambition. Now, the conversation as, is it okay for one to aspire for a position or a job his or her principal is not in support of? In fact, the principal is not only just not backing Shaibu, he's bent on doing everything to frustrate his ambition. You can call us on the numbers on your screen. Let's hear your thoughts on this, on the conversation 081-076-41679, 090-241-63440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read the tweets. So let me come to the ladies. There were issues, speculations here and there. Is he running? Is he not running? Is he loyal? Is he not loyal? And finally, he has come out to officially declare. So he's running. But in a situation where his principal is not in support of this and may still have the influence to, displace him somewhat, somewhat with using political machinery, what are your own thoughts on this ambition? Is it right for you to do you think it's right for him to continue to pursue this ambition, especially when he knows his principal has the carrot and stick at this point for now? Let me start with the
Edo lady.
Edo lady amongst us. You are angry anyway, but so, go ahead.
His ambition is his own, is his choice, and he has every right to it, just as everybody has the right to pursue their own happiness. And the governor will be wrong to tell him not what his ambition should be or not to be. The governor has done 2 terms and should be happy to either retire from Edo politics or, run for another office, which is allowed by our constitution. But to determine the future of one person based on your emotions is petty.
Don't say based on emotions.
Now talk, I talk.
It could be based on...
I talk my talk.
Okay, all right. So you talked your talk, which is fine.
Based on his emotions is petty.
Okay.
Yes, because everything that is official, elected office is serious matter. And you should not get out of it. Which one is loyalty, not loyalty? We don't know these things again. These things don't make sense again. Even in those states now, they say loyalty, loyalty. And I hear that's why it's an elected office holder. Governor is sick. They are talking loyalty. Should the loyalty mean that the state should go under or should stand still? I don't understand. We should do politics.
Wait, run politics. God bless me. Wait, let me hold on. Let me tell you why I'm shocked.
What are you
Tell us. This is why I'm even shocked you're saying that, because you were here when Obasanjo was talking about democracy to be customized in our own way. You don't have to go by this. Yes, you have the constitution, this is great. But our ways is when elders come together and say, this is the way we are doing it. We've agreed that elders have spoken.
I like
your own view. You're not saying that.
You read my mind and you try to express it. That's why I like it. I love you.
Okay, I've read your mind.
So just said that we should practice our own democracy. It starts with amending what we already have in the Constitution. Failure to do that, this Constitution is still grown up. We will still follow it.
Please speak English.
It's still superior.
Okay.
We will still follow it. And the Constitution has provisions that he has said should guide through this kind of happenstances and situations. Then when governor now say that for you to have an ambition,
okay, so I hear you. So for you, so we can bring the Africanness when the Constitution doesn't provide. Here, the Constitution has provided.
Are you doing?
No, now.
Calm down.
No, I'm saying.
Please leave me. Which Africanness are you talking about here?
No.
As the governor himself done Africanness.
Okay.
Was he grateful?
Okay.
If you catch her in this, she will turn it to play. She will turn it to play. No, she's smiling more than any other day.
Oh my gosh. Let's come back to the matter.
Personally, for me, I believe that anyone who has the interest should run. Normal. But I know that politics is not played like that in Nigeria. Usually there's an agreement, but also we know with politics and politicians in Nigeria, agreements are not always followed. It's not permanent. They say with politics, there's no permanent friends, only permanent interest. No permanent agreement. They will all agree to do something, sign it, call a whole meeting, spend a lot of money on an agreement. when the time is close to, work on
Interest changes.
Interest changes and everything scatters. So in this particular case, I think he's quite bold to insist that he was going to run for office, knowing that it may mean that he will be sabotaged, in so many ways. We've already seen in the papers different ways he feels he has been sabotaged. He's been taken out of his office. He's been almost like publicly, yes, embarrassed, at public events. But he's decided, you know what? And I think that's actually the best mindset, which is, it looks like everything is lost anyway. The one thing I have that I can hold on to is my ambition and also my clout and influence in the political sphere. Of course, to have been deputy governor, he must have come with something. So I'll bank on what I have now. Whatever happens, happens. So for him, I would say I wish him the best and may the best man win.
Esther strategy.
Yeah.
In Esther's strategy. Go ahead.
Which is good, but if you are really a politician, you won't go that way. So I remember what happened in Delta State University, National Association of Political Science. So I wanted to run for the vice president at the time. But what happened was a group of people had met me and said, come and run for a vice president representing us. Those people were from the South, right? We're all South, but, there's the South Igbo and the South Urobo and all of that. I knew that the Urobo people had a stronger hold. So they came afterwards, after the Igbo people had met me to say, come and run for us as vice president of National Association of Political Science Students. Those other people now met me and said, we heard that these people called you to say you should run. No, don't go. We have the modalities and machineries in place to make you project supervisor. Then next year, we'll take you to SUG because political science already has a slot in the whole school to present a female from social sciences for SUG. Being the activist that I am, what I see him doing now, I insisted, these people have met me first. I actually want to be vice president of so-and-so. I will go now. And he flopped. You know why he flopped? Because those people had more machineries to work against me. When I was processing it back, they still came to me for the SUG thing later on. They compensated me and said, don't be offended, but we told you were not going to win this one. We had already slated your name for SUG. Just do this one. But I felt I had the integrity to maintain the first people that came for me. It wasn't a good political move. So when I sat back and looked at it, I'm like, if I have to play politics again, I will not do it the way I did it.
Thank you for taking us there, Peter, because it also reminds me of what happened during the elections, where Peter Obi and everybody just scattered. In fact, PDP totally scattered, and they just handed over the winning to Tinubu on a platter of gold, when one party divided into three. It's part of the idea of playing politics the way politics should be played.
Yeah.
As much as it's great to be ambitious, I want to do this, I have the right, the constitutional right to do it. But sometimes, if we look at all the various factors available, which is what we bring in the Africanness, who we are as a people, are we ready? But it would be great for you to say, you know what, if I believe I can do, which is what Peter Obi did, I believe I can run regardless.
Yeah.
Which is his right. His constitutional right to say I can live and I can run, which is fine. But however, if we look at the bigger picture, if I had partnered with Atiku and stayed and let Kwankwaso did not leave, the three of us stay put, regardless of my hurt, negotiate within us.
We come out stronger.
Whoever
wins.
IPC didn't have a chance. Well, so in this kind of situation, if we look at it that way, don't you think these are things that can be happening?
One thing I've noticed with politics is until it works. If it does not work, then you say, if only you had done this. Yeah. And then if it worked, then it's good that you stepped out and you did it. True. So we still haven't, I don't think we have enough data or pattern in our Nigerian policy to predict how some collaborations will turn out. What Peter Obi did, even if he did not win the presidency, is that he won something.
Yeah.
His name, now he's a force to reckon with in politics in Nigeria. So for him, that may be enough. For Shaibu as well, let's go back there. And I think that's what he's looking at. He's looked at the different machineries. I feel that if he should step out now, he may step out into obscurity, as in nobody will hear of him again. It may be harder. Yeah, no, I'm saying if he were to go his principal's way and say, you know what, I will not run. I will just wait until another 4 years. He may come back in another 4 years. Things would have changed. Interests would have changed, and there's no opportunity. Sometimes when you feel it in your gut, however it turns out, it's good to come out.
Sometimes when you feel it in your body, I just be jetty.
The name.
Because
And the
I
pedigree.
doubt that Philip Shaibu has Edo North where he's even from, talk less of Edo South. I doubt that his records will not be against him. I think you should just jump under this clamor of victim played by him under his principal and retire. That's what I think. Yes, that's what I think. But he can run, it's his choice.
He can run.
Now, he can run, and it's not our traditional democracy, what did we call it, that he should not run. I just think that he should know when, you know, and you should know how many people you have on your side. How many does he really have on his side?
Good question.
Well, the governor that is asking him should also know that, you know, when they went to see the Oba of Benin during the last elections, Philip Shaibu was addressed in a particular way that made me say, this man, if he finish this deputy, he should go and rest.
Okay.
He was addressed. The people know him. He's not called loyal himself. So to be disloyal to his principal right now,
It's
to
like-
go, not just to his principal's emotions, really. Really, because the governor is just being emotional. What's the loyalty about? What's the disloyalty about? The interest to run? Is that what you're talking about? But no.
Maybe there was an agreement. Maybe that's what he's talking
There
about.
was no agreement.
We're not there.
Besides that, if there was an agreement,
I think she was
let him
there.
go eye and go and go and try to play what Wike did. Wike had the clout. Wike had a place he could broker with. He could say, I will give
Wike was
you
a
River State.
Wike was a force.
Leverage.
He was a force.
He had leverage.
Can you give your village?
Hey, good question.
Thank you.
Drink
So,
water, drink water.
let me say that politics is a game of numbers, and politics can be predicted because numbers don't lie, right? You know, sometimes it's not enough to just make the noise and people see you as a martyr. If it means nothing to you, it's fine. Like me. I felt bad for just a few days and I moved on because I wasn't even interested in politics in the first place. But people who are really interested in politics, that is not enough for them. It would go down as you tried it and you failed. And we know how our politicians don't like to fail. It doesn't work well for them. So I would advise, if you're really deep into the politics, you have to learn how to play the game the way it is played. Once the numbers are stacked up against you, for my own issue, for instance, I lost by just 10 votes. And it was the girls that voted against me at the end of the day. But it opened my eyes to see that being ideal is really not the way to run politics, especially now that we have not even moved electronic. If we go electronic and there are young people who can sit in their rooms without stress to vote, then you'll be scared. Right now, it's still manual, based on the powers of the people that you have, based on the people who are able to mobilize and come to the streets and all of that.
Let me take Gabriel. Hold it for a minute. Good morning, Gabriel. You're live from Benin. Thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm calling from Benin.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Very clearly. Go ahead.
Okay. The issue regarding the Edo State governorship election is a very interesting one. I want us to know that there is no law that says that a particular region is to be the governor of Edo State at a particular time. There is no law such. True. And as such, every person has the right in the city of Edo State to contest for the highest position in the state. I think Philip Shaibu is trying to incur his own personal ambition over the interest of any other person. Of course, people are very sympathetic that the Edo Central is comprised of the Isham to produce the next governor. That is just emotional. And it's not stated in our rules at all. However, what the governor is doing to the deputy governor is uncalled for. People have right to contest and have right to restore their ambition. You do not need to necessarily stop them. You do not need to use the state actors, state instrument to oppress them. And Obaseki doing this to Philip Shaibu is also part of the truth that this is what Philip Shaibu have also been known for. So he's only taking a medicine which he prepared with Obaseki. And it's very unfortunate for him. But be that as it may, we want it to be very clear that whether you are from Edo North, Edo Central, Edo South, you have right to contest for the highest position of the state.
All right.
There is no
Thank you, Mr. Gabriel. Now, let us bring in another angle, because I think we've discussed before, the Lagos angle. You know, how the governor, a visionary governor, who has a plan, a vision for his state, can say, you know what, I'm going to pick the next person. I'm going to anoint the next person to take over, who I believe can drive this thing with start. Because many projects governors start would outlive them. You can't, there's no way you can start to finish one project. So it has to be somebody who has an idea and knows that the next person I put there, or I'll give the machinery to work to put in that position, will continue. Because in any successful state, you need that continuity. We've seen that in Lagos. So is it possible that it's important, it's crucial that the governor of a state should somewhat be involved in who succeeds him, for the sake of continuity, and for the sake of good governance? Based on
deputy succeeded his principal in Lagos? No. So
no, okay, well, maybe not deputy, as in anointed.
I'm not trying to say
so maybe not direct
guarantee,
deputy, but it's anointed. That's what
doesn't guarantee. No, what Lagos has run is a same party system to ensure continuity, but not necessarily same individual. So it doesn't really guarantee continuance. The governor, the principal of Shaibu, was in the last administration. He worked directly with the governor. Did he continue most of his projects? They don't do Okpekpe race anymore because of him.
They're not even on good terms.
They're not on good. And just because of that, Okpekpe race was a big winner. He opened the door to the international world. All of us looked forward to it. There would have been an airport in Okpekpe now, or in a neighboring village. We're looking forward to that development. Stalled, not happening. At least this administration is rounding.
Oh, no, we don't know.
So, no, I'm telling you facts, details. This one you can verify. So, nothing guarantees continuity like that, except a serious-minded person.
Okay, I have to go on a quick break, I'm told. When we come back, we continue our conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.